Hi guys, what's up? It's Joe Pitt here, back with another video, and in this video, it'll be for Love Island 2025 Season 12, Episode 3. I'll leave a link down below to Episode 2. Of course, there's going to be spoilers. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So we had a little bit of like a first look on the app. We had the words Harry, Helena, Hideaway, and then a question mark and an exclamation mark there. So who knows what's happening there. Ben and Tony at the start were having tense words. New boys Shay and Ramel make their mark. And whispers speak louder than words in a game of dares. So about the new boy, well, on the app, it said, introducing Shay, the scaffolder, looking for a girl to steal, spelt steal as in the metal, his heart. And then we have meet the self-proclaimed CEO of flirting, Ramel. So who knows what's going to happen with them two. But Ben and Tony, they were getting the ick, they said. Shakira, Meg and Helena spoke. Shakira and, well, basically, like, you know, who she was going to pick. Like, they talked about that. And were they like, did you know straight away, or was it like a last minute thing? But yeah, she didn't know really. People were asking how Harry was. He said he was happy to be getting into bed tonight with Shakira. They all thought Shakira was going to pick Connor, to be honest. But then that would have meant Helena would have gone home as well. And I don't know if they would have wanted that. Helena and Connor spoke, Harry and Shakira spoke. Tommy and Megan spoke to Ben about Tony, and then also about the Shakira and Harry. Shakira says she gets nervous around Harry, but she doesn't around Connor. And that, well, it's quite important, I guess, to be nervous about someone because you know you like them. Then they were talking about cups of tea, if they wanted a cup of tea, or, you know, do you make a good cup of tea? Shakira heard the conversation over in the distance about her, but like Ben said it was nothing. And then Ben also said like there's nothing there with Tony. Tony came over to Shakira and then basically had a word with Ben after. But Dejan and Meg went to the terrace. They had a kiss. Harry and Shakira had a quick kiss. Tommy cuddled straight to Megan. Dejan maybe too. He grabbed his pillow or something. I'm not sure. Helena and Connor spooned. Harry and Shakira kissed, then slept. Everyone else did nothing. Some of the boys were working out. Megan, Helena and Alima spoke. They were talking about Connor and Harry. Shakira, Tony and Meg spoke. Tony said she's going to speak to Connor because she, I think, likes him. Meg also talked about the kiss that she had with Dejan. Megan and Tommy spoke. He said, you know, he was looking forward to being the little spoon and he was hoping for a little kiss as well yesterday. Tony and Connor spoke. She says she likes acts of service and she said that Connor is very sweet and so she's probably going to carry on that conversation, well, in the future with him. Shakira and Harry spoke. Ben pulled Shakira and they went to the hideaway, which is allowed because technically, you know, they're not a couple. They have been, but they're not a couple now. So yeah, you can pull someone as long as you're not in the couple with them. And technically, you could spend the night there as well if you wanted to. Tony pulled Dejan from Meg. Meg then went to the others. And then Tony was asking, you know, if Dejan would move to America. But then he was like, oh, no, would you not want to move to the UK? Then Blue went over to Shakira and then said to Shakira, oh, was he supposed to sit here? And then Harry was like, no, you're all good, mate. Carry on. It was like a joke. Helena pulled Harry. Then they went to the hideaway. Helena didn't like Harry working out, she said. I don't know why. Then Harry said that Helena has a seductive walk. I don't know, it's just because of the job she does, he said, but that's what he said. Then he was saying, oh, you know, I might sleep here tonight. Then Harry and Meg were speaking, and then they saw Tony with Blue and Dejan. Basically, she came over with some melons. Then, like, she was trying to think of something to say, and then Harry was like, oh, you could say, you finished your starter with her, want to come for a main? But then she was like, you've had your starter and main, let's go for dessert. Which was very bold, I think. That was pretty bold. Then, like, Dejan offered a mango to Meg. She said no. They went on the hampoline, so the hammock trampoline. Harry and Shakira spoke about Helena. Then the girls got a text about the new boys, Shay and Ramel. They then told the guys. So as I said, Ramel, he's an online coach, like personal training. He's 24 years old and he's from London. Guys get intimidated by him. He knows what he wants and he's sure to turn ahead, and he's there to treat a girl like a queen. Then we have Shay, as I said, scaffolder. I think he made a joke that he was a semi-professional footballer, which he isn't, I don't think. He's 25, from Bristol. He doesn't mind stepping on toes. You know, he's got the height, he's got the body, he's got the looks. What else could you ask for? I think, like, Alima will definitely be interested in one of these. I'm not sure about any of the other girls, but I'm sure that Tony might be. And then they said, well, Shay and Ramel said, you know, it felt weird that the guys were staring up at them on the terrace. The girls came down and spoke to them. Boys were upstairs. They came down later. Meg said that Shay looks like one of her exes. Then they were playing dares. So they grab a dare from the box. They do the dare. So Ben had to snog the islander he fancied the most. So went for Shakira. Harry was fuming. Alima had to snog the islander you would couple up with now if there was a recoupling. So she went for Ramel. I mean, it was pretty much reciprocated. It was good. So I think they'll get along very well. Megan had to fake an orgasm in front of the islander you fancy the most. So went for Tommy. Tommy said he's never heard anything like that before. At first it was like a cough. And then he was like, that actually sounds quite sexy, to be honest. Shay had to seductively suck the finger of the islander you would like to use handcuffs with. So went for Shakira. So who knows if Shakira's going to get to know Shay. Then Connor had a pretty good one. He just had to kiss every islander of the opposite sex. Like, how's that a dare? That's probably one of the easiest dares out there. He had some snogs with people, you know, even though they were in a relationships, and some pecks. And a lot of people were surprised about his kissing, to be honest. Blue, it had you and an islander of your choice, of the opposite sex, and can't be your partner, must snog for 20 seconds. It went for Helena, and she was like, oh, I didn't mind the kiss, but 20 seconds, you know, that was a bit too long for her. Helena had to have a three-way kiss with the most attractive islanders. Well, two of the most attractive islanders in her choice, so went for Harry and Connor. Harry had to give the person to the left of him a lap dance, so went for Helena. And then he whispered to her, hideaway. So I was like, oh, what's going on there, you know? Ramel had to reveal a secret about itself that your fellow islanders don't know. I don't know if he should have said this because it might have been too much and Alima might have been put off. He said the most islanders that he slept with in a night is 5. Like, wow, you know. Yeah, that would be a put off, to be honest. Helena said she might kiss Connor later. Harry had his hand on Helena's leg as well as Shakira's leg while doing the lap dance and like flicking his earring like Helena and Shakira said. And then Shakira borrowed Harry off Helena. She wasn't very happy. Her guard is up now. She was wanting to, you know, kiss him tonight, but after that she didn't want to. Blue then pulled Shakira. They went to the hideaway and then Blue kissed Shakira. Wow, you know, that was unexpected. So we've had about, 4 kisses in this episode or something at least. But yeah, that is all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.